Good evening, people, and welcome to a Christmas Eve. 2 days till Christmas, I think. Sunday. And we're here to talk about the films that I've watched this week. Wales is no longer freezing. Wales is pissing it down. So, anyway, straight on to the films I've watched. Tokyo Story. This is a Yasujiro Ozu film I've had for a long time. Took it out of the plastic. The type of film that I probably wouldn't buy now. But it's a very simple story, very slow story. It's about family. Man and wife go and visit their grown-up children in Tokyo, and there's daughters-in-law, husband-in-laws, husbands, sons, daughters, all that kind of stuff, and just how they all interact with one another. Not as boring as I thought it might be. I give it a solid 8 because it is a very good film. It is. Once upon a time, it was considered the greatest film ever made in that silly Sight and Sound poll. Once upon a time, it was number 1. But yeah, very much worth watching if you only watch it once. Tokyo Story. An 8. Then I watched I got my drink in the way. Let me move my drink. Lethal Weapon 1, which I gave a 9 to. It's a Christmas film, did you know? Then Die Hard, which is also a Christmas film, just not traditional. Both of those get big 9s. Then from 1954, The Bridges at Tokyo-ri. And this is all about blowing up some bridges in North Korea at Tokyo-ri. Heavily guarded bridges, blowing them up. But I think it takes so damn long to get to that bit. The focus is on the people, the pilots, their family. And I'm thinking, get on with it. Just get on with the goddamn blowing up of the bridges. So I wasn't keen on it. I give it a 5. Then from 2001, a Christmas film called Call Me Claus. 2001. Whoopi Goldberg. Santa is finishing his 200-year stint. Has to find a replacement, otherwise the world will basically be doomed. He picks Whoopi Goldberg, and she doesn't believe he's Santa. No one believes he's Santa, but of course the film goes where doesn't believe, starting to believe, maybe believes. One of those types of films. I give it a 6. Nothing. Wouldn't watch it next year. Nor would I watch this. Crimes at the Dark House, 1940, with Todd Slaughter. Same guy that was in the Barbara Fleet Street that I watched. I don't think I like that either. But this Todd Slaughter guy, he murders a rich guy and takes his place so he can get his estate and all of his money. I didn't like it. I give it a 5 also. Just wasn't. The poster that I saw, it might be this poster, made it look better than it was. And granted, the last maybe 5 or 10 minutes was better than the rest of it, but still wasn't great. 1940, Crimes at the Dark House. Then a film that I still have the sleeve for, but no disc, called Virtuosity. And it's about a bad guy, a cop sent to prison, cop gets out, cop is released, cop has to track down this murderer. But the added thing is virtual reality is in this. This guy was a virtual reality, comes into the real world. I got the impression it was like Demolition Man meets something else, and I forgot what that something else is, but it's Denzel, the guy chasing Russell Crowe, the bad guy. But it's virtual reality. That's the whole shtick. Mid-90s, 1995, virtual reality. And I liked it. I give it a 7. I would have liked it had it not been virtual reality and just been a regular cop versus bad guy. But mid-90s action film. This is an early 90s action film. Cliffhanger. Fantastic. Good film. I won't say fantastic film. It's a good film. Cliffhanger. Everyone knows Cliffhanger, do they not? Then Firestarter. Yes, the Firestarter. The Stephen King book that I've never read, nor have I seen the 80s film with Drew Barrymore. So I went in with kind of a clean slate. I still found this a tad dull. Had its moments. It also had Zac Efron as the father. I don't give a shit about him. I gave it a 5. The original's probably better, and the book's probably better again. But it is what it is. What can you do? Then I went to this set, and I watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Sean Connery steals a lot of this film. He's very entertaining. But a fun film, give it an 8. Then I watched the first and second ones of those. Back to the Future 1 and 2. Everyone knows them. They are fantastic. Then I watched Mission Impossible Fallout. Because I remember watching this when it came out somewhere. I don't know where I watched it. I don't think it was a cinema, but it could have been. But I don't think it was. I watched it, loved it, went out and bought it 2 days later, watched it, all the special features, and that was 3 years ago. So I thought, watch it again. I give it a 9. I love it. From this set, Beverly Hills Cop 2. I like that. Everyone knows Beverly Hills Cop. Then I watched Silent Night, Deadly Night. A film I've known about for years, just like Black Christmas. I can see why this would have been, what's the word? Controversial. But a guy in a Santa suit's going around killing people. But this guy in a Santa suit, when he was a kid, a guy in a Santa suit murdered his mother and father in front of him. He goes through care, orphanage, and then one day he just snaps and goes on a killing spree. For what it is, I give it a 5, but for what it was, it was all right. Better than Black Christmas anyway. I can see why people would love this. I can. I'm not one of them. It was okay. Won't watch it again. And we ended with a film that a lot of people loved, and that was Top Gun Maverick. Now, I'm not a fan of Top Gun. I like the soundtrack and the 80s feel of it. I'm not a fan of jets and aeroplanes and fighter stuff, because when you've seen planes flying through the air and they're doing twists and turns and all that business, as skilled as pilots are to do that, and as dangerous as it is, it gets boring real quick. I watched this one. I felt like, to me, it had more heart, more emotion in it. The action scenes I thought were better, more entertaining. But I did get bored of airplanes flying around and shooting each other, but just not as quick as I did watching the first film. So I would say I enjoyed Top Gun Maverick more. I would say it's better. And I'm not sure if it gets a 7 or an 8. I like the heart of it. It's good seeing Val Kilmer. Good hearing Val Kilmer. But yeah, excuse me. I can see why this made over $1 billion. I can see why people loved it, and it was amazing. I can see that. For me, it was all right. Technically speaking, superb. Entertainment value for me, there was enough there. Would I watch it again? Probably not. But as I say, I'm not a fan of, just like I'm not a fan of, race cars going around a track. that doesn't excite me. Planes and motorbikes going around the track, no. Just glad I watched it though. So that is it. That is everything I watched this week, which just leaves me to wish everybody, and I've written people down so I don't forget them, to wish people a Merry Christmas, or whatever you're doing for Christmas. Enjoy it, but especially to Julie, Merry Christmas to you. Rick, Amanda and Sydney, Merry Christmas to you. Mike, Mr. Miserable, but Mike, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Harry, Janet and his 16 kids and 37 grandkids and 455 grandkids, Merry Christmas to you. To Castor over at the Noir Channel, a Merry Christmas to you. And of course to Kelly, Christine and Bob of the North. Bob, enjoy your lobster. Merry Christmas to you, and I shall see you when we'll nearly be in 2023. Cheers to everyone. Ho, ho, ho.